Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to be here to talk a little bit about myself and about my research. Today, I'm going to mainly talk about when AI meets robotics. Basically, I'm doing research on applying AI to robotics. That is why I particularly choose this topic. Well, as we all observed in recent years, that AI is almost everywhere, and it is impacting our daily life. Right, like 20 years ago, when I remember that there was like, I know there is a story about Apple, and they invented a PDA, which was called Newton. But that was a failure. The reason was like they put handwriting in to recognize the human writing so that they can use that one as an input device. But unfortunately, at that time, the technology was not so developed. AI was not so developed. Well, the recognition rate is so low at that time, which makes like the user feels uncomfortable. But nowadays, as we can observe, everyone is commonly using like handwriting to directly as an input method. Well, and also there are many other aspects for AI is impacting our life. Like, okay, also like even 10 years ago, we usually discuss about some news with friends, read from newspapers. But nowadays, usually, we cannot exactly find a topic about the news to talk with our colleagues. The reason was, like, if we look at TikTok, well, the news is personalized in the sense that, okay, if I particularly interested in some sports, well, actually, the recommendation is particularly on that topic. Well, you know, this is also part of the AI impacting our daily life, right? And also, like recently, we are like the emergence of ChatGPT and some other tools like that. Well, so for example, if I'm going to prepare a speech for today, I can ask ChatGPT to help me on that. I just define what I want to do, and ChatGPT can pop up with like a paragraph to describing what specific things I can talk about. Well, overall, actually, AI is really changing our daily life. Well, back to robotics, AI is also changing greatly for robotics. Well, robotics, a robot is kind of like a machine. It's like kind of a body. But the AI is giving the soul to the body, right? So in the past, actually, we can develop more advanced motors so that a robot can move faster. Well, we can develop more advanced sensors so that the robot can see or can feel things better. But now we are developing AI. We are giving a more and more powerful brain to the robot. Well, imagine what's going to happen and what is already happening. Well, AI actually, it is giving a great opportunity to robotics. Like, okay, there are many repetitive works in factory and many tedious works in factory. Definitely, we human beings don't want to work on that. We can just give it to AI. Right? So like, okay, in the past days, actually, we use human to translate. For example, I'm speaking English, but if I want to translate to Finnish, probably we need to invite a person knows English and knows Finnish very well so that he can just translate simultaneously. But nowadays, we can easily use AI to do the job. But definitely for the AI in robotics, it can also bring a lot of opportunities like this. We can develop, also like for example, for the robotic soccer. In the old days, actually, what we care about is like how can we program a robot to chase the ball more accurately and faster. Well, now this is no longer our objective. We care more about how can we define a strategy to coordinate all the 11 players better so that they can generate some advanced strategy. Well, this is also benefit from AI, which gives new opportunities to robotics. But AI is not only bringing opportunities to robotics, it is also generating some challenges. For example, well, as we mentioned, like AI is bring the soul or bring the spirit to a robot. How about if the robot is out of control, right? So if this is only an AI in a computer, we don't quite care about that because it is always in the computer. But with the embodiment with a robot, we start to care about, well, if someday the out of control the spirit is controlling the body of the robot to do some thing we don't want it to do, what's going to happen, right? This is a kind of threat. And also additionally, there are some other challenges. Like, okay, so if for traditionally a robot as a machine, we accurately control everything. But if we give the authority for AI to define everything, because nowadays AI is statistically defined in the sense that, okay, we have a lot of training data and train the robot, just like we train our children. But how about the data is not so purified in the sense that there are some failure data? Probably the trained result is also includes some failure. Well, even sometimes it is out of the safety threat. And how can we control everything so that the robot is doing exactly within the envelope we defined, within the constraint we defined? That is a kind of challenge. And also, like as mentioned, the ethic aspect of the robotics. Well, because AI is so powerful, I believe, like we have the Moore's law for electronic systems. But I believe there will be soon the announcement of a new law, Moore's law, for AI, for intelligence. Probably we can claim that in a few years later, like every 1 year or every 2 years, the intelligence of AI will be doubled or something, tripled or whatever it is. Well, in that kind of situation, think about when Moore's law is playing its role for our daily life. Okay, we have a PC 20 years ago. I believe we are not going to use it for nowadays because actually the PC, the integrated circuit is getting more and more powerful. And if we use an old computer, probably it is so slow and everything cannot be processed so efficiently. But look at AI. If AI is going to follow the Moore's law, what's going to happen? If like for the phones or for the artificial intelligence apps, actually we are using, we have to upgrade every several years so that it is keeps up to date. But how about of human? Well, if the AI is getting faster and faster and getting smarter and smarter, if we cannot get updated to the AI, what's going to happen, right? There are many challenges, but still we have a lot of opportunities. This is basically from me today. Thank you.